You know, I like to wear a lot of hats, and it's never too early to drink. So, welcome to the show, folks. Mike, cue the intro.
It's Social Pulse Weekly, brought to you by Agora Pulse. With this week's special guest, Mia Voss. Discussing this week's hottest topics and latest developments in social media marketing. With your host, Jennifer Watson. Here's Social Pulse Weekly.
Hi, everyone. Oh, there's Mia. Yes. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. So there's no surprise who our amazing guest is. I love that she wears lots of hats. And you guys, she's kind of a really badass woman. Like, she's incredible. She's amazing. So I can't wait to hear from her. But welcome to the show. It's the last show in May. Can you guys believe this? The last Friday in May. June starts on Monday. The hurricane season starts on Monday in the Northern Atlantic or the Atlantic Basin. But with all that said, we've done it. We've made it through a month. Hopefully it's been amazing for you, but we want to know who you are, where you're watching us from, and something awesome that's happened to you this month. Multiple things. You can list them out. We're here to support each other, uplift each other. We want to end the week and the month on a positive note. And keep in mind, this is a conversation between all of us. And with that said, I want to thank our amazing show guest, Eugene Petrov. I think I pronounced that correctly. I'm not sure. I'm not the best at pronunciations, but he is big into leadership and marketing. He believes that your leadership is your marketing, and you can follow him at LDRBRND on all the social channels. He's here to help you become a better marketer by being a better leader. And you can message him for details to get started with anything you need. So Eugene, thank you so much for being our show sponsor. And you guys, I'm excited it's Friday. It's been an interesting week, even though it was a short week for us in the US. We had Memorial Day on Monday. There's been a lot of action. There's been a lot going on. So we're here to bring some happiness, some joy, some positivity in everyone's life. And with that said, we have the amazing Mia to help out with that. So Mia Voss, first of all, she's an amazing, incredible person. She's a lifestyle blogger, brand ambassador, and social storyteller. Mia connects brands and businesses to their most powerful buying market, women. She's currently working with brands such as Colette Travel, Lexus, Toyota, BMW, and more. Her engaging and energized style showcases businesses with authentic and entertaining social content. Mia considers herself an accidental entrepreneur and has never been afraid to change, shift, and be open to stumbling upon new opportunities. With all that said, let's welcome in the amazing Mia, who's already here. And look at Mia on the go. Yes, Mia Voss on the go, I should say. Mia, you have, first of all, your resume is incredible because you have a day job where you're actually on construction sites. You wear that hard hat. That wasn't just for show. You actually wear that for work. You have to, for different inspections you do. But along with that, you're a big influencer, especially in the travel industry, which I know they're kind of being hit hard a little bit, but also when it comes to cars and anything else. And you speak on stages. You're an incredible blogger. You are a Google Plus, beginner, from the beginning of it all. So Mia, tell us a little bit how you got to where you are and how everything kind of evolved a little bit. And we'll give a couple shout outs. We've got Steve Eisenberg. Yes, we've got the amazing Eugene, who is our show sponsor. Juan Santiago. Juan, it is always so great to see you. We got Deb Mitchell in the house. We've got Trisha Marketing from the UK. Trisha, thanks for joining us it's past your happy hour. So hopefully you're joining us with a nice drink in your hand. We've got Sue Ann. Hey guys, how's it going? We've got Kathy in the house. Kathy, yes. Brad Friedman, hey, Jenny Brennan, we love you. And
hi,
Andy.
Jenny.
Yes.
And little brother Fanzo, I saw him pop in there too. So way back in the day.
Deal. So Mia, you have an amazing fan base. It's clear everyone loves you. We were talking about this before the show even started. So Mia,
except when I'm a stinker.
Yeah, no, you're amazing. Please tell us about how you became such a badass.
Oh my God. I always say I've been putting the fun and dysfunction since 1965. So there you go. That's my tagline. I'm gonna fix my lip gloss here. Here we go. And Jenny, we were talking about you in the green room beforehand. We said you're delightful. And then I have to shout out Eugene because he's been so sweet in all the posts. Like he's engaging with all of the posts you've been doing this week. Now that's a sponsor, folks. Right?
He's been amazing. He's been so amazing.
We'll get into that because I definitely feel that. But yeah, accidental is certainly the case. But I started doing the punch inspections back in 2001. So that's something that I do that's been such a great ebb and flow when the economy tanks. So I learned in 2008 when everything really, really fell apart that you cannot have all your eggs in one basket. So when things kind of go up, I have the travel blogging and everything working with brands, but then I also have the building inspections. So it's been great to do that. But honestly, a lot of this started for me. I always like to say my journey as far as doing the travel and doing storytelling started it started with Shawna Coronado and Chris Brogan and guerrilla gardening. So go figure on those three. It's a really random, but I saw this gal who I absolutely adore named Shawna Coronado speak at a TEDx in 2012. And I was so taken with her. And she was talking about starting a garden in her backyard. And it really, like, the city was giving her a hard time. And she just told this very inspiring story. So I started gently stalking her because I had such a fangirl moment with her. And I saw that she interviewed Chris Brogan using, and again, this is 2012 to, I think it was 2013, using Google Plus and YouTube. And I was like, what is this? Right? I just was so fascinated. We'd never seen anything like it, the ability to have your own broadcast station. So I'm like, I want to do that. And I realized how fascinated I was with storytelling as well. I had started a group here in Denver called Crave, and it was a group for women entrepreneurs. And I'd been working with men in job sites, and then I had to pivot when the economy went so bad. So I started this group and realized all these amazing stories of these women here in Denver of businesses they had created. And I thought, let's take the platform up a little bit more. So I started, and Shawna Coronado was my first interview, and my cat Bob, some of you may remember him, dearly departed Bob, would come on the show. And that's when I learned too of finding your own voice, of, getting online and, here's my cat photo bombing. And it was hilarious. So we kept doing that. But, I started doing even more interviews and really got into Google Plus and have been doing live streaming since 2013. Some super OG.
I love that. No, you're like, Mia, you're just
way back.
Kind of,
golly.
Yeah. No, you're so hardcore, and you've worked with so many different brands. What do you do specifically for those brands? Do they seek you out and they're like, Mia, we need help with this. Can you help us with a marketing strategy? Can you do some social media for us? How does that all work?
It's definitely, it's organic in a way too. It's more, when you start, especially when you're on social media and you start seeing these brands that you like or these stories that you like, it's so fun to reach out to them. And then for me, my unique piece is I create new stories for them, or I create new content for them. I love to, like, for instance, with Toyota, one of my favorite things that I did with them was they reached out to me and said, hey, we're going to give you a gift certificate for PetSmart, and we want you to use one of our cars, then go buy food at PetSmart. This is right when the pandemic started. And then I donated it to Colorado Pet Pantry. So it's a lot of times it's not, it just creates organic. They come up with ideas, or they see the content that I create as well. And that's really what happened with me, even with Google Plus, was doing all these interviews. I had this interview show, the Mia Connect Power Chat, where I just got to connect with all these different people all over the world. And then that's how the travel piece came, because I realized, hey, why don't I take the storytelling on the road and go places and tell their story and create unique content for them.
And I love, I don't know, everything you do, Mia. I don't know how you have time for everything, first of all, which I think is just amazing. But we've got Brad Friedman, who says, hi, Mia and Jennifer. It's so great to see you. Brian, we love you. Yes.
Yes.
Rock stars. Yes. Mia, so I didn't have a show, but I posted about weather back in the day on Google Plus.
You sure did.
Yes, I did a little bit of that. And we've got Tim in the house too. So Mia, can you break down a few specific, even more detailed examples of how you've helped some of the brands and really garnered a lot of attention for them and helped them with specific campaigns?
Sure. So like I said, I really started doing the travel piece back in 2015. And I had interviewed a woman with a company called Winerist. And I was so fascinated with her because what she had was a website that had all these different brands, wineries, restaurants, hotels, and it was sort of a kind of like a travel space you could go in and see all these different companies. And I was turning 50 that year and I was like, I really want to go to Italy. How can I make more money to go to Italy? And then I realized, why don't I go and see if I can storytell for these folks? And so that was really the start of it too, of creating unique content for them and realizing also that women were not being represented very much. So female buying power has been my focus for quite a while, and realizing and helping companies and brands connect with the fact that women make over 85%, if not more, of overall buying decisions. And let me be really clear on that. That doesn't mean that women are making 100%. We still know that. Come on, right now we're at about 75, 80 cents on the dollar, but we are making decisions for the household. And that's such an important piece that I think gets missed by brands. So helping them connect to those really key decision makers. And I think right now it's more crucial than ever. I was listening to Fresh Air the other day. Terry Gross, I kind of give her a hard, I kind of make fun of her sometimes as an interviewer, but I love what she does. And she talked about how there was really this sort of grotesque gap in with feminine or between males and females now that everybody's home and they're starting to see how much more different people are doing. So that's what I've really been trying to focus on too, is just to say, hey, women are making a lot of these decisions. We really need to pay attention to that. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It makes a lot of sense. So Mia, I would love to know, with everything that's going on, I think basically every person, every company has taken a step back personally and professionally, trying to figure out, okay, and it's a great moment for just looking reflection, I think right now. It's a forced reflection.
Yes.
And, with everything that's happening. And I would love to know how you are pivoting and kind of changing your ways personally and also professionally. Sure. And the third thing, Mia, I'm giving you a lot to talk about.
You have to remind me.
Yes, I will. What other brands you're seeing that are kind of doing the pivot really good? They're,
Sure.
providing really good content for people during this time.
You hit the nail on the head. How I say it is I'm on kind of an observation hiatus. Luckily for me, I did it. One of the brands that I worked with that I really enjoyed, it's a company called the Hills of Africa. That was my last really big hurrah last year. They collaborated. And so collaboration is a huge piece for me too. They collaborated with Africa Conservation Travel and a bunch of other different people, Giffy, Global Institute for Travel Entrepreneurs. And we all got together and traveled together, me and a bunch of travel travel agents, travel experts. And so, that was my last really big trip. And then I really had already started to settle down right after that. So I didn't really have any trips planned, which was nice. I got a huge project here in Denver, a construction project. So I've already had been sort of on that sort of hiatus type of thing. So when this all hit, I was already kind of hunkered down here. So for me, it's been a lot about repurposing content, going back and writing reviews for different people, putting things back out. Dreaming of travel is a hashtag that I use a lot, while I'm also just sort of sitting back and observing and seeing who is kind of popping up and who's doing great. And I am seeing a lot of companies, I think, I actually pulled up a link of, there's a lot of different companies that are just taking, or what is it, even distilleries. I mean, they've taken, and they're not making booze right now. They're making hand sanitizer. I mean, can you think of a better shift or pivot than that?
No. I wonder if it smells, like Tennessee honey. If it's hand sanitizer smells like Tennessee honey. But no, and I have seen a lot of that. And I think at this moment in time, if you're going to be successful as a company and a brand and really thrive through this, you know, I know a lot of companies are going to make it through, but you want to thrive. You just don't want to get by, is by seeing what people need, what can help people.
Yes, absolutely. And it does. Sorry. And I'll write the real successes. Yes. Honing their craft. Huge. And I think that a lot of people, I just started to read Essentialism again the other day, and it's such a perfect time to read that, because one of the things they talk about is really zooming in and cutting out all of the chatter. And it is a great time for that if you learn to shut your phone off. I told you this 2 months ago when we interviewed. One of the biggest things that I did is I took Facebook off my phone.
It's you know what? And that's okay. It's okay to take a hiatus, a week long, or just, you know, remove yourself from one of those social channels, because it's a lot. There's a lot going on. We've got, by the way, Jeff C loves you, by the way.
So much. Jeff C, can I just shout him out because he was on my list? Hey, Joe Craw, how are you? I love Joanne Crawl. I always call it the Joe Craw way. Jeff C is doing the whiskered wood carver. I mean, talk about that. To me, I have to shout him out. We both cut our teeth on live video. Absolutely. Jeff was one of my main guests. Fanzo, definitely Mike, who's in the background here. There's so many relationships that I had taken over from Google Plus and then to Facebook. And now it's been so fun to see all my friends. I know Joanne's done some online programs. So a lot of the folks here are just doing amazing stuff. Jenny Brennan, we were talking about you. I love your live streams. They're so soothing, and it's so good for the soul. So you can see all of our friends that are just taking a step back, observing, seeing what's going on in the world, which is great. But again, Jeff with the whiskered wood carver, I'm 100%. And the thing is, we're not saying disengage. We're just saying, like, you have to temper it, especially this week. Oh my word. We don't have to get into details, but this week was heavy on the heart.
Yes, it really was. And, you know, it's important to, I think, for companies right now, brands,
drink to that.
Yes, to be positive, to spark positivity and show support and just help people. And Sue Ann brought up a good company. She said there's a local backpack company who pivoted to mass production, which I think is great, which is awesome. And a lot of brands are doing this now. And a lot of brands are having to revert to, especially restaurants, brick and mortar stores, to social media. Like, social media is where everyone, either you're taking a step back, you know, like you're doing, Mia, or it's like the only survival mode for brands, for companies. And what I think is really important right now is that they create unique experiences. Like, let's say if you sell socks, or, you know, you've got a store that sells all sorts of different kind of things, you make a unique experience for them somehow, whether it's through a quiz or just geek out about socks, do trivia on socks somehow.
Oh, I can geek out on socks as long as the day is. I'm with you on that. And I agree. When you talk about restaurants, that's gonna light me up. So I've really been observing too of what the local restaurants here. So with part of the shift for me has also been, I said shift, by the way, it's a family show. Part of the shift for me also has been focusing here on Denver. It's such a cool town. We have so many great things going on. So I've really been observing what the local restaurants are doing here. And we have a group, they're called Tap and Burger, and then 5280 Magazine. So what they've been doing, obviously, is doing all the deliveries, which most of the restaurants are doing around the country. But then they're really encouraging people. They're collaborating together. The collaboration piece, we've talked about it for so many years. It's overused and overdone, but yet right now it's coming back into play. Collaboration, community, all the favorite C words, right? And I feel like that's one thing I've been watching. And part of my shift is going to be to focus here locally. And this, you know, bringing people here into the business, because people are doing so many cool things and really supporting each other. We have a vertical grow house called Altius, and I've been such a big fan of theirs. It's one of the largest indoor hydroponic vertical grow houses. It's Altius, and they are just rocking it out. They've been supplying lettuce and different things for a lot of the local restaurants here for about 6 months. So when the whole lettuce thing hit, what was it? I can't remember. There's some kind of poison lettuce there.
Yes,
we got you covered, right? It was so neat. So now they're doing these farmers markets that you can order online and go pick them up. So I'm really seeing a lot of folks stepping up to the plate. So I really encourage everyone to see what their everybody's doing. Next door is great for that. I call it like the nosy neighbor, like Mrs. Kravitz and Bewitched. That's next door.
And you bring up really good point, Mia, about concentrating on local and being local. And I think at
Hyper
this moment
local.
in time, with companies that are, okay, we're going to start reopening stores, or things are going to start gradually getting back to normal, micro influencers are going to be huge, not necessarily big time, but micro that know the community and know the city. So people in Denver may be coming to you, Mia. So what are
Good
some
question,
ideas
Justin.
and some best ways? Oh, we do have a question. Okay.
Oh no, he just said about influencers being local. So it tied in right with what we were saying.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, Justin, I didn't even see your comment, but yes, I do see local influencers. We call them micro influencers because they can be more influential on your community than like Kim Kardashian or just throwing out a random name, because they actually know the setting, they know your city, your town, and they know the people that will want to be at or eat at or shop at whatever store there is. And so I think that's huge. And so Mia, what are some, I'm sure you've been a part of, obviously you've been a part of a lot of influencer campaigns, but when it comes to micro influencers and companies and brands reaching out to people, what are some ideas you have, and what's the best way to do that to kind of build a really good collaboration and say, hey, let's open up with a bang. Let's, move into like the second half of the year in an amazing way.
Thanks for that. I love that, because I think that people do lose one of my things, I love to do what not to do. So get ready for it. And one of my biggest pet peeves has been with brands is when they don't share out the content. I mean, I'm over here. That's the one thing you'll see on my Twitter. It says opinionated blogger. I've changed it to that. And I'm very, very careful now when I put out content to say, this is my opinionated opinion. Because I want it to be very clear that I'm coming to you with what my opinion is. Fanzo has one of the favorite things he said to me is, if Matthew McConaughey's out there driving a car, I'm going to be like, sure. But if Mia tells me this is what's going on with the car, I know that's going to be the truth. And that's been one of the best things that I've heard about my brand, is knowing I'm gonna let you know. And I do tell brands that when I start to work with them, like, hey, I'll warn you if there's something that's not kosher. Like, for instance, when I go visit hotels or different restaurants, because especially when I do a lot of these trips, like last year, the city of Plano sent me down there for 2 days. And so they collaborated with 3 different restaurants and a hotel. And then I brought in Mazda as part of it, because I like including the car company. So it's a very robust experience. So I do let them know if I see something, especially as a building inspector, because I'm picky, that, there's something that you can improve on. I'll tell you personally, but, be aware that you do want somebody that has that, it's going to tell you the authentic experience. And to get on that, as far as what's going on in the world right now, it's going to ring so false when people are putting out content right now that's not authentic. I know that's an overused word as well, but people, there's so many people watching right now. They have a lot of time. Even if a lot of us has taken it off our phones, there's a lot of people watching right now. So you need to make sure that you're coming across authentically and not salesy. Quite frankly, nobody wants to be sold to right now. Even I see some sponsored posts that really, I'm like, dude, take that off right now. Take it off right now. Go check out your content, see how it is. So that's one thing I think that brands can do. And then again, to work with influencers to take it back around is to really make sure if you're going to hire somebody or bring somebody on, you're going to share their content, because they're creating something that you can share over and over and over again to show that this is what it looks like. Not me telling you what I think you should think about my brand, but we have brought somebody on board, especially as a female over 50 with some buying power. Folks, pay attention.
Yeah. Yes. Get on that soapbox. And Joanne said, yes, tell it like it is. Justin said, if it doesn't sound genuine, it's a turnoff.
And Anne's like, there she goes.
No, and I love it. And I think right now more than ever,
such a turnoff. Woo!
Yeah, it is. And I think storytelling is so powerful, but telling your authentic story. I know it's easy to look and see what other companies and brands are doing, what other people are doing, but people will resonate. You will find your core audience, your super fans, by actually being true to yourself, true to your company, by storytelling. And a really fun story that I like to tell about Agorapulse is that there was a person on the fence. They're like, ooh, I don't know, Agorapulse or not. I don't know if I should do it. He was actually in Europe at an event. Our CTO was speaking, and basically they talked about, and also the co-founder talked about why they started the company, the passion behind it, and just all the company values and why we work so hard. And basically that story of just, their motivation and the reason for creating the company pushed him over the edge to sign up for Agorapulse. And so storytelling is just very powerful, and it's so relatable because most people can relate to some part of your story and be like, oh yes, I've been there. I've done that.
Old. It's as old as everybody sitting around the fire. Think about that. I mean, even way, way, way back, people are just weaving stories, telling about heritage. And so especially if you're going to do any kind of content that involves again, community and collaboration, it is really going to pull on people's heartstrings.
Yeah. And in another good example, so
and they're going to remember it too, by the way. Exactly. People are going to have long memories right now.
Oh my God. And you brought up another good point. The fact that what you do personally and with companies, especially right now, will have a major impact down the road. You got to be very careful and strategic with what's going on right now and be sensitive to everyone and what people are going through. But how you pivot and shift at this moment will really kind of predict how well you do in the next several years, because this isn't just going to be a quick, clean, getaway. This is going to be around, impactful at least for another year and a half. And then, once we have vaccines and stuff, it's still going to take a while. So
it's it really is, hon. I agree. Yeah. And I think we need to settle in for the long haul, not out of fear, but out of, I don't think there's going to be a new normal. And I'm facing it. We're all facing it in different ways. And the ramifications of what's going on, we're not going to know, especially for folks with children. I mean, I'm really paying attention to my friends with kids, knowing that this next generation is going to be kind of like the canceled generation almost. So how we can help and impact them. So I do think right now, I have a little bit of Schadenfreude. It's one of my favorite words, which is fascinated by somewhat of a downfall at times of like, woo, they shouldn't have done that. And so there are some folks, especially influencers. And again, I don't, that word can really set people off pretty much since Fire Festival. People have had to step very lightly. The folks that saw that and really upped their game on creating authentic content, providing value to brands. And I really do encourage brands to look for value, to ask for, don't ask for, okay, how many widgets are you going to sell? Because for me, in a way, I create a billboard of content. I can't guarantee how many cars are going to drive by that, but I can guarantee you the ones that do drive by it are going to take a look and want to know what that's about, right? That's what I can promise. But I really want brands to pay attention to asking for what are going to be the deliverables and so forth. And then influencers also need to make sure that they're working with brands. Like if you came to me and you're a company that makes it's like a commercial farm, like commercial farming meat, no, it's not going to work. I'm going to go to my local Silver Creek Ranch. I love these guys. I go pick up my little patties, my little hamburger patties in the parking lot. We've all got masks, and I do Instagram stories on them.
Yeah.
Right. So fun. Again, I get fired up, but I do think that, I've seen some influencers. Madonna did something crazy. She's in a bathtub trying to talk about, I'm like, girlfriend, shut that down. Right. Stop it. Right. Yeah. That did go over too well. A lot of the folks that are and I adore Gal Gadot, but she took a big hit when she did this video that womp did not go well at all. Not really crazy that John Krasinski's already sold Some Good Network. That's not gone over too well. He's come forward and said that. But guess what? One of my favorite brands is. You'll never guess in a million years.
Oh my God.
I want to see what people have to say because I have adored them. Get ready for it. Drum roll. Steak them. That's right. Steak them. The sandwich meat. That's my favorite new brand. No flipping doubt. So you guys go follow them. Hold on. Charlie, bring the Frenchie, by the way. The request has been made to see the Frenchie. I think Brad, yes, take them.
I'm going to read through a couple comments really quick.
Yeah.
So Don says, great storytelling creates empathy and connection.
I love that.
Very true.
Yes, Don.
Justin Hornback, thank you so much for joining us, Justin. We're really loving your comments. You say, we are in a time when our dreams are easier to grab. This is actually true. We are at an even playing field. We talked about this before, Mia. Everyone, like even from national news, they're going from their homes, just like we are right now. Don't stress over reaching someone that is too far away. Hit that local area, be real, be true, and it'll show. Justin, you rock. That's a great tip. Jeff C, study storytelling. Every client industry can always learn more and hone that skill. Very true. Eugene loved the cancel generation. Justin said also you have to learn from mistakes. This is so true. So wait, do we have the Frenchie? Did I miss the Frenchie?
Oh, she's coming in. Charlie's going to drive by with her real quick. Here she comes. Here.
Oh my God,
hold
Charlie.
on. It's a preview of our show tonight. Ta-da.
Hi.
There she is.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
Yay. It's Friday with the Frenchie, and this is Charlie, also one of my favorite brands, Fido Right.
So when is your live tonight?
It's going to be at Agora Pulse. Yes.
Hey, what's up,
Hi. Hi, Charlie. Oh my God, you guys are so awesome.
Oh man, he's driving. Yeah, like literally drive by with a Frenchie. We're going to be on today. We've decided, I've kind of been bouncing around on times, but 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So 5 Pacific, and that's 7 Eastern. No, 8 Eastern, right? 7. So yeah, that's just me sitting around with my Frenchie talking about stuff I love.
Which is awesome, which is another great pivot. And with that said, so Depict Media, they used to do a live. They've kind of shifted a little bit, but they used to do a live every Friday highlighting someone in their community, either a person doing good or a business or a company doing good, which I love. So if you're struggling right now coming up with content, some of the best things you can do are ask questions. First of all, ask, what do you guys need help with? How can we support you?
Yes.
And then start asking other questions, getting to know other hardships they have, or providing value. The biggest things are, you want to show support and you want to provide value, usable value that people can implement immediately into their strategy, into their lives, their company. But creating a show that highlights not you, but other people is, I think, an amazing idea. If you're just struggling right now, it may be something worthwhile. Or just going live, Mia, and just being like, hey, we wanted to pop on, say we're here from you. We wanted to show you some resources that have helped us, providing that value and giving away information without expecting anything in return is so powerful. And people need that kind of stuff right now. So I think it's great. And Justin has a great, what would you tell someone who doesn't have a lot of influence, but wants to help out the local area?
Oh, man.
That's a great question.
It's good, because here's my answer. Be a cheerleader for the things you love. That is one of my taglines, besides the whole putting the fun in dysfunction. But I just posted on my Facebook page last night. It was a little receipt, and it said what you can do right now to help. And it's all these things. So go and like the page, share about it. I love Instagram stories. Real quick story on one thing I did yesterday. There's a group of young gentlemen in Minnesota. And the story came up about them being confronted by a man the other day. They're called Team Top Figure, or Top Figure Marketing. And you may be familiar with this story. And they got confronted, and they live streamed it, and things kind of came to a head, and it got fixed. And then they did this lovely live stream. I follow them on Instagram at Team Top Figure, 4 young men, 4 young entrepreneurs. And they were so delightful, and and they were so positive, again, offering information. They didn't really address too much about the incident, but they just moved forward. And so I shared their story on Instagram, and they immediately got back to me. And quite frankly, I'm going to be doing interviews again. And I said, can I interview you guys? So stay tuned for that, because they just were so delightful and said, hey, could we, they reshared my story. So resharing stories, going to give reviews. Guess what? Google Maps. On Google Maps, I have posted, I think, how many views am I at on Google Maps, honey? I think, I might, the other honey, sorry. I think I'm at like 8 million views of my photos on Google Maps, because all I do is I go and I just upload photos wherever I am, and I can upload videos too. So when people go and say, hey, what about this restaurant? They'll go see my pictures and they'll see my authentic things. So you can become your own little micro influencer just by talking about the things you love. The dentist that, that was, that just made me so happy. Write a positive review, tell all your friends and family, follow them on social media, engage, give them a shout out, sign up for their newsletter. Gosh, look at that. How much that cost you? Zero.
Yeah. And also one of the biggest
I get
things I love
excited
is
about that too.
Engaging with your audience is so important.
Oh my gosh.
Posting is one thing, but actually engaging with people that respond and sparking a conversation is so important.
That's why I got so excited. Those kids responded back to me. I thought, oh my gosh, they're all in the news, and they were like, thank you so much. And I went, oh my goodness. And what was it even? Toyota is wonderful about that too. They get so excited because what I do is I use the cars to go pick up the donated pet food. And then I loop in Colorado Pet Pantry, Toyota, and whoever else, PetSmart. And I create this story. Everybody can do that.
See, and by doing that, like it just interconnects everyone, and you're the main core of it. Like you're the common denominator.
They'll remember it, and this whole generation for influencers of coming to roll in and asking for free stuff, that is over.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is over. And I do think too, I've seen a couple posts that says, please be patient with people when you go back to these restaurants. Stop demanding things, stop being fussy, over tip, even if it's not a really great service. Everybody is so stressed out. So it's such a great question. Yeah. Like how to really, you just become a cheerleader. You literally can become your own micro influencer. And one of my things that I talk about when I do, back when I was getting on stage, because I don't know when that's going to happen again, is creating these boards of influence. So I have my board of influencers. I have my folks that I can go to and say, hey, am I off about this? Can you check out this post? And then you can, you create your boards of businesses you love, your A-list, your little toolkit. I can go to my drywaller, my plumber, my nail gal, whoever that I can recommend to people. And then people also know when I recommend them, I vetted them.
Yeah. Yes. No. And that's so important. And that provides value to what you recommend, which is so true. Become a cheerleader, you can become a micro influencer. Yes. Yeah. You don't need a certain amount of followers. And that's the thing. That's how you find your super fans too. And you can become a super fan of a brand, which is so true. And as a brand as well, one of the brands that I've always loved is We Are Cisco. Or Cisco, I should say, and their We Are Cisco accounts. So if you're also stuck right now and trying to figure out what kind of content can we produce, you can, so Cisco created We Are Cisco channels. You can follow them right now, and they allow their employees to go live. They take over those channels and share what it's like to work for Cisco and the environment.
I love that.
Yeah, it's so awesome. So my friend Carmen is actually kind of behind the whole thing, and all their social channels, they've won awards for the past several years because of that. And it's so innovative. And that's something that you can do, is just go behind the scenes, be like, hey guys, I'm working toward this, and just, show different people in your audience what creative things you're working on, and even troubleshoot too. Like being transparent right now, authentic, all of that is so important, and being relatable too,
Yeah.
We all have tech issues sometimes. We all have, other things happen. Like
totally.
I don't have my daughter with me right now, but sometimes I do on my lives and she's crying, or, something happens.
I love that girl.
Yeah. You got to make things relatable. Yes. We have chats, Mia and my daughter.
We do. Speaking of which, I was, and hi Evie, by the way, that's another Google Plus, Von Heinemann, but I always crack up because look at the screenshot of my mom. Like, she's so cute. Like,
it's so sweet.
That's her profile. God. It's so cute. I'm always like, but how wonderful has it been? Because my dad turned 80 last month. I didn't get to go home. I don't know if you guys saw what I did was I ordered a pizza from my local favorite pizza place and then surprised my dad with it. But had them write, on the box, but then tip them extra, but then also did that in the Instagram stories and did the whole thing. So yeah, getting your family doing, don't you love it? Like you said, like the getting your family on these live streams or on FaceTime. It's been really interesting to see.
Yeah, it really has. And kind of like what you said, Mia, is like, if you want to become a brand ambassador, if you want to be an influencer, go all in. Don't just like or make a post. You got to do it all.
And you got to really seed that relationship too. You know, it's, you know, third base coach is not waving you in at that point. You need to really like start and you just romance people. I mean, I get so excited. We used to say this about going to conferences too. Like, you really need to start seeding those relationships before you even go to the conference. And same thing, if you're going to work with a brand, just start sharing your stuff. Don't ask for stuff right away. Start sharing it. Love this. This is really cool story. And just do that without asking for anything. And then it's trumpets and rose petals when you do show up and say, hey, I'd like to represent you.
Exactly.
I love trumpets and rose petals.
I know. I was just about to say, I love that saying. It's fantastic. And Justin said, if anything, raw live videos have made us all realize we all have lives outside of what we're known for. And
amen.
This is very true. And Eugene, I didn't realize you were a dad of triplets, which I think is crazy.
So you can really speak to it.
I mean, you really can. Like, I'm a twin myself, and I know that was crazy with my mom, and I have an older sister, but man, triplets. Whew, you're amazing, Eugene. You're absolutely amazing. So
and can I pop in on that too? I think what's happening is the expectation of perfection is lowering, right? Yes. And so there's more patience for people, but then people are also getting very honed in on what they have time for. So there's that whole swirl of it too. But that expectation of, I got to look perfect, or I got to do the whole thing. Drop it.
Yeah. And that's what I like, even watching some of the daytime shows, you know, they don't have their professional makeup artists, you know, and some of them aren't wearing makeup, which I love even more. They're just like, hey guys, I'm here. And it's just, you know, perfection is a fairy tale, as one wise Brian Fanzo might say. It's a lot of us still strive for it. It's a little difficult.
Oh, I bet it's been difficult for you to see it, like sometimes, or not difficult, but your observation of it as being in somebody that was, you know, in that really high-end production has been interesting to see for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been, I don't know, it's fascinating. And I'm like, some people say, a recovering perfectionist. I'm now understanding that it's okay to not be perfect. So we'll all get there. But Mia, before we get to some social media news, I would love to know what advice you have in like 60 seconds to, what do you do to stay motivated and positive? And are there any books? I know you mentioned one earlier that really inspiring, or you just like, you know what? I recommend everybody reading this book.
It's like,
yes.
My brand is well known for being boozy. You know, I got to be honest. I got to go old school. Meditation, man, it has really helped me out a lot. Before all this started, YouTube has been the main thing for me. I love meditations on YouTube. I actually have been doing a 10-minute like yoga meditation thing, right, honey? You can vouch for me over there, Charlie. Before I go to bed at night, and then I just let that shirt go. That was my swearing. But it really has helped me out a lot. And then just parceling out my time on what I do spend on social media. One other quick thing that I do in order to get the news but not have it filtered through other people is once I have meditated, because I won't let myself look at the phone until I get that done in the morning, just to ground myself. I like going to Twitter and just going to trends and seeing what's trending. That way it's not filtered through anybody else's head. None of my people that I follow, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody that I follow. It's just what's trending. And then I turn on NPR news. So that's how I stay motivated and still connected without driving myself nuts.
No, and that's, I love that. I love that. You know what? I've never actually really meditated or done yoga, and I probably should do both. I feel like
we'll do some together.
Oh my God, yes, we need to. We so need to.
Yes, ma'am.
And I love, Justin, you said, if you wait to look perfect, you've waited too long, someone else will beat you to it. This is very true.
I would say Justin and Deb have got the corner on the market on some awesome comments. And then all my other, Carolyn Capern, that's my Google Plus days too. Oh, the folks are here.
Oh, I love her.
Nice. Yeah.
Megan Powers, you're awesome. You're doing amazing things too.
Oh,
Carolyn,
yeah.
yes, perfection is a fairy
Everybody.
tale. Yeah,
Yvonne.
Carolyn. So I met her at Social Fresh
Oh,
when
you
I was
did?
speaking there. Yeah, and
Oh.
her and Greg are so amazing, and their company is so wonderful too. So you can drop the link
Oh,
to the company, Carolyn, in the comments.
they are OG for me. I met them all down in Tampa along with Mark Ensign, like for reals, but we'd all been seeing each other online for years. Plus, we're all Star Wars, hardcore folks. And Carolyn and Greg, yeah, have been inspiring me for a while. Plus, they introduced me to the concept of the Purple Purse. Harvest Home, I think, is in Florida, which is an amazing shelter for women that also has combined with pets, so people can bring their pets, because a lot of people don't leave bad situations because they can't bring their pets. I
Yeah.
can't even love the Ewoks. Yes.
Oh my God, I love that. And Carrie Ray, she said, well said, Mia, live video is a bit more forgiving right now. And it's almost endearing seeing people in their cozies at home with pups, video bombing, etc. Great stuff.
Jimmy Fallon's one of my favorites now, by the way, too. He's really, I'm now in love with Jimmy Fallon's wife. So there's that. Harbor House. Thank you.
Oh my God, yes, it's so silly. So, Mia, we're going to talk about a little bit of news. And so this is interesting, and I'm sure you probably heard about it, but Instagram is testing basically the double stories feed, basically 2 rows of stories instead of 1. They said, we are always testing ways to improve your Instagram experience. And they're really pushing. So the fact that Instagram is doing this and really pushing stories means if you're not doing Instagram stories, you may want to think about it, because just about everyone I talk to, they're seeing 2 to 3 times, if not more, the engagement on their stories rather than their feed posts. And there's no word on how wide the option is being tested, nor on how specific regions or where it can be accessed, but they are releasing it to some people and it is being tried out. So it could become the new normal. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know about you, Mia. I kind of just like, I love stories and I think it's powerful, but I kind of just like the 1 row. I feel like 2 will be too much and looks a little cluttered.
I look
But
like TVs at sports bars, man. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, what am I looking at? Like, I need the double rows of eyeballs.
yes.
And
Like,
I know they're also letting influencers there's a monetized influencer piece. Sorry if I'm jumping into the story for Instagram as well. So it's interesting. There's some interesting things. They're definitely trying to shake it up.
yeah, and they are. No. Jump in as much as you want, Mia. This is our conversation. Anyone in the comments, definitely do that. I want to know if you want the double decker. I love double decker buses. So, like, do you want that or not? Justin said, do you think this will put more pressure on only posting 1 photo as a post instead of multiple? And then stories is pushed more for continuous content. So, I usually,
I want to look like Jigsaw on that
yeah.
movie with the pinwheel eyes.
Yeah,
Like,
so Justin, the key is, so for stories, it's good to like tell a beginning and an end and work toward every day kind of work towards something different, or it can be a week-long story where you can ask questions, you can do polls, and keep in mind you want to spread it out a little bit throughout the day. You don't want to just sometimes I do it because I run out of time. I'm like 4 stories at once. But then, you usually want to spread it out, because your story, the circle highlighting your face, will, like, let's say I post at 8 a.m. You're like, oh, Jen has a new story because it pops up. Then you, at noon, at lunchtime, you do another story and someone already has watched that prior story. You will pop back up again with a new story. So you want to, and it'll keep you in people's minds. That's why it's kind of powerful for brands. So it's great for overall storytelling and also creating experiences for your fans and have them get to know you. And also it's great practice for live video too, if you're nervous about that. So I love stories for that. When it comes to 1 photo post rather than multiple, I think if there's a reason to do multiple photos, do it. I always believe do something if there's a reason to do it. If there's no reason to do it, just like, talking about Twitter, should we tweet all the way to, 280 characters? Like, should you use the full amount just because you have it? Or, I always believe tweet as much as it makes sense to tell your story or what you're trying to get across.
Yes.
just put extra in there because you can. So
Yes,
I was,
and on that storytelling one too. Sorry, because I've
yeah,
seen someone somewhere they have told a story 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, ooh, I'm just eating it up because there's a whole story. So they've gone to that. You don't always necessarily have to do something because you can, right?
yeah.
But it is your comfort level too. I think kind of like the gloves are off in some way for a lot of folks. Like it's a Wild West again.
It is. And you know what I found, where some people make their grid a certain way, they do certain photos to match up the grid, which is good. But also at the same time, if someone visits your profile, that's fantastic. But most of the time they only do that once and they're just scrolling, they're not going to be doing that. And the other thing about doing a grid is a lot of the images, if it's like a weird part of the photo that you're trying to, like the puzzle, it can be not a really engaging photo and it may not spark conversation. It can be a little tricky.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, so the other day I have this picture of Gidget over here, and it's a paint by numbers. And sorry, this is a little bawdy, but the way, hold on, Charlie, I'm turning the camera at you. So see how it's the picture, and Charlie decided he was going to paint that one spot on her. You see what I'm talking about, right? Because she doesn't have a tail. So what if I did that as a grid and I only did that one spot? I was like, what is that? Yeah, that's a dog's butt. You know what I'm saying? So I just looked up, I'm like, for instance, if I did a grid of that.
Exactly.
Might
And
come
so
across weak.
that is the best example. So yeah, you just want to be think about it. But Justin, that was such a good question. But yeah, try and be more specific. Yeah, Joanne said less clutter. Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is Joe Craw's, because you know how they have the Marie Kondo method. There's the Joe Craw method, the Joanne Crawl, and less clutter. That is your war crisis.
And she says being succinct is a gift to your viewers. This is
I like
is very, very true. All right, let's switch to Pinterest. Are you big on Pinterest, Mia? Do you love Pinterest? Is Pinterest
Man, I want to date Pinterest more. I feel like I've been on a couple of dates with Pinterest, and I do adore it. I think it's golly, I just think it's such a great platform. So that is on my to-do list, is to be more into that. I want to date Pinterest more. So I love it though. I do. I just don't use it as much as I should.
If I had more time, I would. That's the problem. When you've got a little toddler and you've got like multiple jobs.
It's an ultimate rabbit hole, sis.
It is. It really is.
Wow. See ya.
It so is. But for those of you that are utilizing Pinterest, which is actually great for SEO
it is.
purposes.
I don't even post there that much. And even just sometimes when I really lazily have a board that it goes from Instagram over to automatically with IFTTT to Pinterest, I still get 4,000 views on Pinterest a month. What?
So it's something that you want to, first of all, if you're not on Pinterest, it's something to think about, but they came out with 10 ways to have your video ads stand out on Pinterest. And this is great. They share 10 breakthrough video techniques that they've discovered within Pinterest work really well. And they noticed in 2020 that the video views on the platform have increased more than 3 times. So it's something you want to think about. If you do have some ad budget, or just in general posting on Pinterest, to consider it, think about it, look. And I always say, Mia, if you're just like unsure of a platform like TikTok, create an account, save your name, get the name that you want, the username that you want, and then observe.
All the things.
Yes.
And anything. And I think there's such a fear. There's that get off my lawn, the old biddy, like, I don't want to join that. And it's like, just get the name. Just get the name.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So all you Pinterest lovers out there, such as the godfather of Agorapulse, Mike Holton, this is kind of exciting, and it's actually great. This comes directly from Pinterest, which could even be more powerful sometimes. But last but not least is the fact that basically Facebook bought Giffy, which is kind of fun, and it's as part of the Instagram team. So I'm excited to see some more fun, engaging things that I bet they're going to start doing with the Giffy gifts, the stickers, emojis, all that stuff. So I'm very excited for that, to see what happens with that. And they've been doing, they're very innovative when it comes to, I love the care when it comes to Facebook reaction. So we'll see if they incorporate anything else when they're using Giffy, which
I'd say that care that was made for you and me.
Yes, yes. I love the care. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to give you a virtual hug and just show you I care. That's
It was
how I
one of the
feel
best
about
things
it.
they've done. I know somebody was like, because where they put it in there, they're like, I keep hugging everybody because isn't it next to like the laugh one? I'm like, I meant to laugh and now I'm hugging somebody and I feel weird. And
Yes,
I
exactly.
love it. I have no problems.
Okay, so now we're doing trivia. Are you excited for this, Mia?
Yes.
So for trivia, guys, you can win an Agora Pulse mug or a t-shirt. It's your choice if you win to decide what you want. But so Facebook came out with a study that they did, rethinking the needs of music consumers. They understand how streaming services and social media are changing the ways people discover new music and engage with their favorite artists. And so with that said, they released some stats with different ways globally with, I believe, 10 countries on how they consume music and different genres they like. And so the first trivia question is, and you can weigh in on this, Mia, is according to Facebook's study and what they released with this, what percentage of consumers globally say that they've been listening to more music streaming at home? Now, obviously that's increased, but what percentage say that they've been listening to more and actually increase that? Is it A, 37%, B, 48%, C, 56%, or D, 63%?
I was just going to ask when was the study done? Because 2 months ago I would have said D or C. Right now I go with E, 89%. But
Yes,
that's not a quote.
Let's see. It came out. So it came out May 19th. And I don't know if there's an exact, but I'm sure it's been during this time because this has been an interesting time to see what's going on. So think, guys, during coronavirus, what's been going on? You want to think that perspective.
Gotcha.
So yes. So yeah. And you said E. So you guys, when you answer, make sure, yes, you say 1, D, C, A, B, E. Whenever you feel like. Carolyn, I'm so glad you're here.
Me
I miss you and Greg, by the way. I miss you guys a lot. So big shout out to you guys.
Oh, there he is. It's the real genius guy.
It is the real genius guy. Swan says A, which is good too. Yeah, that's the cue for me not to give away the answer.
That's right. You've been.
I didn't.
They get like, no, you don't get to give the answer, which I think is adorable. I'm like, Jen gets excited like I do.
I do. I get really excited. So yeah, so you guys, great answers. I love all of those. We always wait for the replays to give them a chance. So like 24, 48 hours, and then we'll message the whoever won. We'll let them know and let them pick if they won a mug or a t-shirt. So you guys, I know, is that Mike? It is Mike Alton humming. It definitely is. So guys, the person that's popping up all the comments is Mike Alton.
This is some serious production value we got going on here. Cause I know from running shows, golly, like 3 years running, having a Mike Alton in the background, like the great and powerful Oz.
He helps out a lot.
It's
helps
good
out
stuff.
phenomenally. Yes. So question number 2, guys, we're getting serious. We're getting down to it. According to Facebook's study, what percentage of people ages 35 and over in the US are genre agnostic, saying they regularly enjoy music from a number of different genres, which is me. And that I fall into all of that perfectly. I love every type of music, but what percentage? Is it 52%, 65%, 78%, 82%? So I love this fun study they did about music, because I don't know about you, Mia. I like, something that really pumps me up if I'm going to do a live show or in the morning. Then I like some music to tone me down. I love country. Country music is a great example of storytelling. I feel like in every country song, a story is being told.
It is. Oh, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah. What do you guys think? Ages 35 and over. And also let us know, do you like all different kinds of music, or is there one in particular? Mike listens to, our producer, Mike Alton, listens to film soundtracks. This is true. You guys, we usually jam out. Mike, we didn't even actually really jam out before the show this morning or this afternoon. We usually jam out to some hardcore music. Megan says 2C. I love you, Megan. Electric mix music lover here. Oh, that's awesome, Sue Ann. That's so awesome.
Steve. Hey, Steve. Steve says B.
Yes. Yes. What are you,
And
Mia? You like all kinds of music?
I'm ish. I will say genre agnostic ish. You give me a good 80s song and it's on and popping. I'll just to let you know. So I'm one of those 70s, 80s, 90s kind of gals, but definitely the 80s. That was my my time of awareness, so to speak. And the thing I love about music is it can take you back. Music, sound and smells can take you back so quickly to exactly the first time you hear it. Just like Heaven by The Cure. I will always remember like being at some party out in Long Island, out in the Hamptons, like 25-year-old kid dancing around, like boom, takes me back immediately.
Oh my God.
So,
Yes. I'm the exact same way. That's why I love like listening to music from when I was in high school and even younger than that. It's so great. Greatest Showman is a must.
Oh
So
man.
true. I love just about everything. I'm the same way as you. Film soundtracks are awesome. What is your favorite film soundtrack, Mike? Star Wars. Yes. I can only imagine Star Wars, but yeah, Mike will answer. I have to answer that question. But with that said, we're running up to the hour. So yes, this is amazing. So really quick, we want to give a big thank you to our show sponsor, Eugene, who's wonderful. And he's actually doing a great promo.
That's my slow clap.
Yes. And Mia, you'll love this. So Eugene would like to invite 8 to 10 female marketers to start or basically be a part of a special pilot program he's trying out. It's a 90-day program that brings those together to invest deeply in their own leadership. So it's a combination of group and individual coaching with occasional guest speakers. It doesn't cost anything at all. This is completely free. He's looking for about 8 to 10 female marketers to test out this new 90-day pilot program he's doing. And we'll be sharing the link in the comments, which is really, really cool, Eugene. I love this because a lot of people, sometimes they just need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of motivation, and a group that they can really trust, like a mastermind group to brainstorm with. So Eugene, with that said, thank you so much for being our show sponsor. Follow him at LDRBRND, Leader Brand. And you can see everything that he does, all the wonderful things. And a big thank you to you, Mia, for just showing your amazing and incredible brilliance on everything. You can follow Mia on Mia Voss on the go, which is basically all the social channels, your blog, and then you go live every Friday, Fridays with the Frenchie.
Yes, ma'am.
Where else can people follow you, find you, get all your good information, all that fun stuff?
Pretty much all the socials. My website is Mia on the go, and everything else is Mia Voss on the go because somebody took Mia Voss on the go. So, yeah, see what I'm talking about? Get your name right there, right off the bat. So basically Mia Voss on the go. And I'm definitely loving Instagram stories and Facebook stories. So follow me on that for the Frenchie Stair Stomp Hop. If you're interested in watching my dog run up the stairs, it's pretty dang fun.
Oh my God, she is so cute. She's absolutely adorable.
That Frenchie hop, maybe knows it too. Yes.
Mia, you're so awesome. You're so amazing. Seriously, thank you so much. And I want to talk about some other things we have going on next week. We have several things. So we've got our Lunch and Learn series, which is specific to our Social Pulse community, our new Facebook group. So if you want to get some extra information, collaborate with others, see the latest news as it comes out, you can join us there. We're having Mari Smith join us for our Lunch and Learn. That's at 1 o'clock Eastern. Those are usually 30 minutes. Then Jen Herman is going to be on Social Media Lab Live with our social scientist, Scott Ayers. That's at 12 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. Thursday, we have our new agency chat, #agency chat. That's at 2 o'clock Eastern. Ian Cleary is going to be our guest for that. We are going to be off next Friday for Social Pulse Weekly. I'm getting some minor surgery, so we will not have a show, which is okay, but it's a positive thing. And that coming the following Friday, the 12th, we're going to have Evie Hyman on the show.
Woo-hoo,
so we're so excited for
lineup.
that. So a lot of great things coming up. We're so excited for that. And we still have 3 days, I include today, 3 days left to sign up for our Social Media Manager School. This is 8 weeks for free. So if you signed up today, you get 8 weeks free of our Social Media Manager School. And you don't have to do everything, obviously. You can just pick and choose. I want to learn more about Pinterest, LinkedIn, show me this, strategy, all sorts of stuff. It's all in there, 8 weeks for free. You have to sign up by May 31st, which is Sunday. So do it now instead of wait, because if you wait, you may forget. So do that now. There's so much good stuff going on. But Mia, thank you for being a rock star and making this week pretty darn amazing.
Oh, we had to end it on a high note, didn't we, sweets?
We absolutely, I needed this.
I needed it. I was
Seriously.
Like,
so much. So Mia, thank you so much. And thank all of you for joining us. Eugene, Carolyn, Carrie, Megan, all of you guys. You guys are wonderful. Justin, your amazing comments. You guys rock. And cheers and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.